Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is the World of Ragus, and I'm sending this from Munich in southern Germany. One thing people very often ask me these days in my live DJ sets is why I really never use a microphone, why there's no talking, no shout outs, and no make some noise, stuff like that, why there's just music. And today I thought I'd give you a little look behind the scenes on what I'm actually doing when I'm DJing and when I do live sets on YouTube, so that you can actually have an idea on how this is put together and what I'm actually doing and why I'm not using a microphone at all. So sit back, relax, have a good time, and maybe this helps you to understand a little bit what's going on behind the scene of a DJ, even though it's not in a club, but on YouTube. Here you go. So today, I want to give you a little insight on how this machine actually works. As you see, it has 4 sound lines that I can use. So it's for 4 decks. 2 of them you see physically here, and 2 of them are virtually. I'll show you that a little bit in the screen later. So before I start playing a set, actually, it has to be created, and I come to that in the next part when I show you a little bit what's going on the screen when I'm working on a DJ live set, and even before working on the DJ live set, so that you actually see what's going on there. So as you see, there's many buttons on here, and this is not even the biggest DJ machine ever. This is just the truck. This is all in one, right? So this is a little bit of all that you see. So up there, here's the bass, here's the mid-tones, and here's the high tones regulations that you can do back and forth. And just to give you, I hope this is, I will give you a little upgrade on demo on this later, how this actually works. So what you do is you have to keep this overview at all times, right? So literally, you do have a track running here. I give you an example on this. So there you have some music in the background. Now you can see if I take off the bass, and it sounds totally different. If I put the bass back, then you hear the bass, right? There you go. So also, what is really funny, I put the bass off a little bit so that you can hear me a little better. What is really interesting is the fact that you can also do other sound effects depending on what you want to do. So demonstrating with this a little bit here on this part. So if you see, you can do certain things with that. Just that you see what you do. So this is only one line, right? Now imagine, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. You play with 2, right? So that is the one running, as you see. Now the second one, you cannot hear yet, because usually I do monitor that first on my headphones so that you can actually hear, so that you cannot hear what I'm doing there when you see the second line coming here. But I hear that on my headphones, and you see me when I have my headphones on, usually then when the second line is on, you actually see that I'm actually pre-listening to the next track to come, right? And then from a certain point on, I put the line up here. As you hear, there's a second song coming. It's the same track like the first one. And then at a certain point, I'm putting the bass in. As you hear, putting the high tones off a little bit, and playing on, kind of do this, whatever. And there's a lot of things that I can do simultaneously at the very same time. So that is part 1. Now, interestingly, it gets when you have all 4 lines running. So obviously, you go to line 4 to the other one. That, as you see, it turns orange here on the side, so that it is equivalent to this one. So that is then you run this, and then obviously it should be running. So you actually have this to run up as well, and then you bring this up. There you go, different track, different part, and also you can put the bass in, play around with this. and also, and so on, and so on, and so on. Same then, obviously, you do that with this one. And you can do the same. I always start without the bass, especially with bass drum, especially when or the bass part, especially when I am pre-listening to the track that, and then to the track before I bring this up. So let's see how this goes. As you see, and there's more bass coming, right? So put this up. So now you have all lines up, and you have a lot of stuff going on here, and you can do sound effects. Let me just give you a little one here, and so on and so on. You can do a lot of things that you can better even hear when I'm mixing live. So let me put the basses off, and so this is how it looks like when the machine is running on all 4 lines, right? And this is not even me mixing live right now. I'm just having the tracks here on the loop so that you can actually see what's going on, and then I'm fading out one after the other. As you see, there's one left, silence. And that is how it looks like when I'm mixing live. So there's a lot of things going on here at the moment, and when I'm doing a live session. So this is now just a demo, but if I do a live session, it is really like a complete different story, because I'm preparing these live sessions like for at least half a day by time, using it for 4 hours, sitting down, going through the tracks, listening on what could match to the other, what story can I tell, and so on and so on. And so that you actually understand the what's going on in the back, behind the scenes, that is even visual for you or visible for you, that you can even see what's going on here, why these things are happening, and what is actually the story behind all these buttons, and what I'm actually doing and why I'm doing those things when I DJ, right? And why what you see then as the so-called final product on your stream when you're watching my stuff on YouTube. And to also give you a bit more visuals on that, I will now, in the next step, show you a little bit on what's actually going on my screen that I see when I do the mixes. And I hope you enjoy that as well. So again, this was just a brief overview on the machine, what I'm doing, how it looks like when I fade in, fade out, and all that stuff. And when, the things that I have to look over on the live session when I do a DJ set. And therefore, I hope this gave you a little bit of understanding on how the machine physically works. Now we are going to have a little look on how the screen actually looks like. So you've seen the machine, and I'll now give you a little insight on how it actually looks like on my screen when I'm doing a DJ live session. So have a look at this. This is how my screen looks like before I even start playing, right? In the middle, you see some kind of playlist. You see that here. There is the track list, or there are the tracks. They're a bit like sorted by beats per minute. You can also sort them with other reasons for the key and for other stuff, and so on and so on. So and then you can start dragging them into the stuff up here. Now this is the view that I'm having when I'm only playing. With 2 lines, right? The ones that I've shown you before. So let me give you a little insight on how this looks like. So this is like when the first line is in. There you go. Then you have some sound. Same with the second. It gets louder. You play around a little. And so on and so on. Now, interestingly, it gets even more interesting when you start working with all 4 of them. Now, then the screen looks very colorful, as you see. And this is very interesting because now let's start that all over again. We're going to start with the first 2 lanes again so that you can hear what's going on. Look at this. And lane number 2. And just to say, this is just for demo reasons, actually, but just that you see what's going on my screen and how it looks like. And if you look in the middle, like here, where my mouse is now, you can even then virtually see the buttons that I showed you before on the machine, how they move back and forth when I move them physically. So here you go, bass up, bass down, bass up, bass down, adjusting the mid and high tones a little bit and all that, putting the bass drum up again on the left side, and so on and so on. Now, I've now changed to the virtual wheels as well. Let's see how this looks like. Okay. There you go. This is the one. Then you have another bass, as you see. This is just now 3 out of 4. Let's put the 4th one in as well. There you go. And this gives you an idea of how things actually work and how you actually do these things in parallel. So this is 4 lines, as you see, and they're all working at the same time. So there's quite some things you have to take care of. Also because you don't want to really F up the transfer or the transformation from one track to the other and all that. And if you want to have some certain sound effects, you've got to work with them as well. And that actually makes it very, very busy and very stuff. So yeah, this is how it looks like when I work with all 4 lines, comparing to this is how it looks like when I work with 2 lines only. And again, this is just for demo. And yeah, I'll just give you a second to have a listen in. So I'm fading this out for a second so that you actually see, yes, there can be silence as well in the life of the DJ. So that was actually the overview on the screen that I have when I'm actually working on a live session or on any DJ session at all. So as you can see, there are quite a few things happening here already, and all of this needs attention while you're mixing, right? And that is actually basically the reason why I don't use a microphone during my DJ sessions. I want to give my best performance possible on my live sessions on YouTube. And for me, that means that focusing entirely on the music, giving you the sound, giving you the spirit, giving you the vibrations that the music actually has. A lot of people have created this music and sat down and did this. And for me, that is also a lot of preparations. That means that I sit down way before, a couple of days before I play the live session on YouTube. And that means for me also a lot of dedication to the music. And that is what I want to perform and bring to you. So that is the reason why I don't use a microphone during my DJ sessions. There's other formats on my channel that I'm using the microphone on, such as this one. But I think that also gives you a good overview on what's going on behind the scenes and why a microphone is not necessarily important to be used for a shout out or everything like that. So therefore, thank you for your attention. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please like the video and spread the word, and I'll see you on one of my next sessions coming. See you soon. Bye-bye.